There's a strange irony when it comes to Sigma males. These are often the smartest people in the room, calculated, self-reliant, deep thinkers who seem to have it all figured out. They're the ones who stay out of drama, ignore trends, and walk their own path. Yet, despite all their intelligence and independence, many of them struggle financially. Not because they lack talent, but because the way they move through life doesn't always line up with what it takes to succeed in today's world. A Sigma male is someone who lives outside of the typical social hierarchy. Unlike alpha males who dominate and lead, or beta males who follow, Sigmas reject the game entirely. They don't chase attention, they don't care about approval, and they definitely don't play by the rules society sets for success. They're lone wolves, and that's what sets them apart. But while that mindset gives them a lot of strength, it also creates blind spots, especially around money. In a world built on networking, branding, and visibility, the Sigma male often chooses silence over self-promotion, isolation over collaboration, and mastery over monetization. These choices may come from a place of principle or personality, but they come with a price. You'll find these men buried in books, working on their passion projects or developing ideas that could change the world, but still living paycheck to paycheck, or worse, broke. This video breaks down the key reasons why a Sigma male can be brilliant and still broke. If you've ever felt like you're smarter than your bank account suggests, or you know someone who fits that mold, keep watching. We're diving into the 6 core habits and traits that keep Sigma males from reaching financial success, even when they have the potential to do so. Reason number 1, dislike of conventional structures and systems. One of the biggest reasons a Sigma male stays broke is because he hates following systems that don't make sense to him. He's not interested in climbing the corporate ladder, following a company handbook, or pleasing a boss just to get ahead. He doesn't want to be part of a machine that runs on rules, politics, and groupthink. That mindset can be freeing, but it can also be limiting when it comes to making money. The truth is, most money today still flows through traditional channels. Climbing within a company, networking at events, and working your way up a system is often how people secure consistent income. But Sigma males aren't interested in playing those games. They see the flaws, the red tape, and the compromises, and they walk away from it all. While others are shaking hands, pleasing clients, or working overtime for a raise, the Sigma male is usually doing his own thing, often outside of the system entirely. That can lead to freedom, but it also means giving up structure. And structure, like it or not, often leads to stability. When you reject systems, you also reject the safety nets and support those systems offer. This is why many Sigma males find themselves freelancing, jumping from project to project, or avoiding normal jobs altogether. They crave independence so much that they often end up with irregular income and zero job security. It's not that they're lazy or unwilling to work. It's that they want work on their terms. They'd rather make less money than be stuck in a system that feels fake, inefficient, or morally off. That mindset can be noble, but it often means missing out on opportunities, promotions, and financial growth that come from playing the long game inside a structure. Sometimes the smartest move isn't walking away from the system entirely. It's learning how to use it without letting it use you. But for many Sigma males, even that feels like a compromise, and so they stay broke, not because they can't succeed, but because they refuse to succeed in a way that doesn't feel right to them. Reason number 2, poor networking and collaboration. Sigma males pride themselves on being self-sufficient. They don't like asking for help, relying on others, or needing validation. That independence can be powerful, but it comes with a cost. especially when it comes to networking and collaboration. The truth is, most success stories involve more than one person. Connections matter. Relationships open doors. But Sigma males often close themselves off from all of that. While others are building teams, growing networks, or trading ideas, the Sigma male is often in his own world. He prefers solitude, deep work, and privacy. And while that might make him brilliant at what he does, it also keeps him in the dark when it comes to opportunities. He's not on the radar, not in the rooms where deals happen, and not showing up at events where people connect. That isolation might feel comfortable, but it's often the exact reason he stays broke. Success in the modern world isn't just about what you know, it's about who knows you. And if nobody knows who you are, it doesn't matter how talented you are. You won't get the call. You won't get the invite. You won't be considered because people simply don't think of you. That's the trap Sigma males fall into. They think talent alone should be enough. But in reality, visibility matters. Collaboration is also a blind spot. Sigma males don't like group projects. They often believe others will slow them down, ruin their vision, or dilute their work. So they go solo. And while that works for a while, it eventually hits a wall. No one builds an empire alone. Whether it's feedback, support, or a different perspective, other people bring value. Sigma males who refuse to team up often find themselves stuck, overwhelmed, or simply unable to scale. There's also a trust issue. Many Sigma males have high standards and low tolerance for people who talk more than they act. This makes them guarded, selective, and often skeptical. That makes forming relationships harder. But without those bonds, they miss out on mentorship, referrals, and mutual growth. So while the Sigma male is busy doing everything on his own, others are moving faster, building stronger foundations, and making more money because they know how to connect. The Sigma might be smarter, more skilled, and even more disciplined. But without a network, he's often invisible, and that's a huge reason he stays broke. Reason number 3. Undervaluing self-promotion and visibility. Another reason Sigma males stay broke is their resistance to putting themselves in the spotlight. They don't want to seem flashy or attention-hungry. They prefer their work to speak for itself. But in the real world, work that isn't seen doesn't get rewarded. Talent in the shadows often goes unnoticed, no matter how brilliant it is. The Sigma male values humility, privacy, and control. He doesn't chase followers or likes. He doesn't brag about what he's done. He sees self-promotion as fake or shallow. But here's the truth. Being visible isn't about ego. It's about creating opportunity. If people don't know what you do or how good you are at it, how can they hire you, recommend you, or invest in you? In today's world, visibility is currency. Whether you're a designer, coder, musician, consultant, or writer, people need to see you to believe in you. And that means building a presence, sharing your work, and telling your story. But Sigma males often see this as marketing fluff. They want to focus on the work, not the hype. That mindset keeps them hidden, and hidden work doesn't get paid. They also underestimate how powerful storytelling is. People connect with stories, not just skills. When you share your journey, your values, or your creative process, you build trust. You show people who you are. And that opens doors. But the Sigma male avoids that level of openness. He sees it as unnecessary or uncomfortable. There's also a fear of being misunderstood. Sigma males are complex. They think deeply and act intentionally. They don't want to be judged by surface-level content or quick impressions. So they stay quiet, hoping someone will dig deeper. But most people won't. They'll move on to someone louder, even if they're less skilled. In the end, it's not about becoming a show-off. It's about standing up for your value. If you built something great, say so. If you helped someone succeed, share it. Visibility doesn't mean losing yourself. It means making sure your brilliance isn't going to waste. Without it, even the best Sigma minds stay broke. Reason number 4, emotional isolation and mindset barriers. Sigma males live in their heads. They process quietly, they solve problems alone, and they rarely ask for help. This emotional distance can protect them, but it also holds them back. Especially when it comes to money. Because making money isn't just about skills or strategy. It's also about mindset. And the Sigma mindset can be full of hidden roadblocks. One of those roadblocks is pride. Sigma males take pride in doing everything themselves. They hate relying on others. So they avoid mentors, ignore financial advice, and try to learn everything the hard way. That independence can be valuable, but it also slows them down. Sometimes what they need isn't more effort, it's a shift in thinking. Another barrier is fear of vulnerability. Sigma males want control. They don't like exposing their weaknesses. So when they hit a financial problem, they hide it. They don't talk about it, they don't ask for help, and they definitely don't admit they're struggling. But silence doesn't solve money problems. In fact, it usually makes them worse. There's also the belief that money is secondary. Sigma males often focus on meaning, mastery, or freedom. They see money as a tool, not a goal. And while that perspective can be healthy, it can also lead to neglect. They might avoid budgeting, investing, or learning about finance because it doesn't excite them. But ignoring money doesn't make it go away. It just keeps them stuck. Perfectionism is another hidden trap. Sigma males set high standards. They want everything they create to be excellent. But that leads to overthinking, delays, and missed chances. Instead of launching something now and improving it later, they stay in planning mode, waiting until it's ready. And while they wait, others take the lead and take the profit. Finally, there's the tendency to see the world as broken. Many Sigma males are skeptical. They've seen the flaws in society, business, and culture. That awareness is part of what makes them smart. But it can also make them cynical. They stop trusting the system, and they stop trying to win within it. That mindset becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe the game is rigged, you'll never play to win. Changing these patterns takes awareness. It means looking inward and asking hard questions. It's not about giving up your independence. It's about making sure it's not holding you back. Because even the most brilliant mind can stay broke if the mindset isn't right. Reason number 5. Lack of financial discipline and structure. For all their intelligence and focus, many Sigma males struggle with money management. It's not because they don't understand numbers. It's because they don't like structure. They prefer flow over plans, instinct over rules. And when it comes to money, that approach often backfires. Sigma males tend to live by their own rhythm. They might have bursts of productivity, followed by periods of reflection or withdrawal. Their income often follows that same pattern, up and down, inconsistent, unpredictable. Without a solid financial system in place, this leads to problems fast. Budgeting feels restrictive to them. Saving feels like playing it safe. Investing feels like gambling. They don't want to follow a spreadsheet or listen to a financial planner. They'd rather trust their gut and handle things as they come. But money doesn't respond well to improvisation. Without a plan, it slips through the cracks. They also avoid routine. That means they might forget to track expenses, skip sending invoices, or ignore bills until they become a problem. This doesn't come from laziness. It comes from how their minds work. They're focused on the big picture, not the daily details. But those small details are what keep a financial life stable. There's also a tendency to view money as temporary. They might think, "I'll get more later," or "it's just a tool." While that can reduce stress, it also leads to bad habits, like spending without thinking, avoiding long-term planning, or failing to build savings. Over time, those choices catch up. Without discipline, even the smartest Sigma male can end up living month to month. Without structure, he can make money but never build wealth. And without a system, he's stuck in survival mode, always working but never fully secure. Getting out of that cycle means learning to respect money, not just use it. It means building habits, not just relying on instincts. It's not about becoming boring or robotic. It's about creating a foundation that allows freedom. Because real freedom isn't just doing what you want, it's knowing you're financially safe enough to keep doing it. Reason number 6. Over-focus on mastery versus monetization. Sigma. Males are often obsessed with mastering their craft. Whether it's writing, coding, design, philosophy, or a niche technical skill, they want to be the best at what they do. They pour hours into learning, refining, improving, but sometimes they forget to ask the most important question: how does this pay? They get caught in a loop of perfecting instead of profiting. They work on projects that never launch. They build systems no one sees. They study endlessly but never sell what they've learned. To them, doing something well is its own reward, and that mindset makes them brilliant, but also broke. The focus on mastery often delays action. Sigma males will say, "It's not ready yet," or "I need to fix a few more things," while others with less talent are already making money. This perfection trap keeps them in the lab while others are in the marketplace. And even when they do release something, they may underprice it or hesitate to market it because they don't want to seem greedy. There's also the belief that good work should sell itself. Sigma males expect people to recognize quality. But the world doesn't work that way. You need packaging, positioning, and promotion. If you don't tell people why your work matters or how it solves their problem, they won't care, no matter how great it is. Some Sigma males also fear turning their passion into a business. They worry it will corrupt the art or ruin the joy. So they keep it separate, working boring jobs to pay the bills while doing their real work in secret. That split creates burnout and missed chances. They never give their best ideas the spotlight they deserve. Monetizing isn't selling out. It's making space for your work to grow. Mastery is valuable, but if it stays hidden, it helps no one. The challenge is turning deep skills into something people want and are willing to pay for. That shift, from perfecting to presenting, is often the missing piece that could take a Sigma male from broke to thriving. Being a Sigma male comes with unique strengths: focus, depth, independence, and original thinking. But those same traits can also become blind spots, especially when it comes to money. Avoiding systems, rejecting the spotlight, and trying to do everything alone might feel right in the moment, but over time, it can lead to financial struggle. The truth is, brilliance isn't always enough. In today's world, you also need visibility, structure, and the willingness to adapt. You need to treat your work like it matters, and that includes how it's seen, shared, and sold. If you saw yourself in any of these reasons, that's not a failure, it's awareness. And awareness is where change starts. You don't have to give up who you are. You just have to make sure your values aren't working against your goals. Because when a Sigma male finds balance between independence and strategy, depth and visibility, mastery and monetization, he becomes unstoppable. Take a step back, look at where you're stuck, and decide what needs to shift. You already have the brilliance. Now it's time to build the life that brilliance deserves.